We're going to start with some Braves news. We're going to let Justin be a homer for a minute. Acuna is back and he's hitting bombs. How are you feeling about that, Justin?
See, Ronald Acuna Jr. being back is the key to my heart. It opens up the soul. I feel good when I walk into Truist Park. It brought a sense of hope. Now, I wasn't at the first game he was back. I was actually at the Sunday Padre game, not the Friday. But he just being in that lineup fills a Braves fan with so much hope that this offense can really start to get going and doing something. We've always seen with Ronald in the lineup that he is the trendsetter. If he gets on base, this offense is typically better. He obviously right now he's not really running a ton, but at some point you would expect or at least like to hope he starts kind of pushing the base pass a little bit. Not saying he's going to go steal 73 bags again, but the ability to at least make the pitcher think, which maybe gives an Austin Riley or a Drake Baldwin, whoever's batting second, a little more opportunity to get the runner moved over, or at least the runner in scoring position before they really take their at bat. It's just he makes this lineup just an extra person deeper because right now the bottom three guys in the lineup with the Atlanta Braves are kind of guaranteed outs right now. We know Nick Allen can't hit worth anything, even though he's in a career year hitting. So Eli White is still getting some PT with Verdugo kind of playing or not playing against lefties. So it's it just adds depth to that lineup and makes this team just all that more scary, or more scary, I should say, if they would actually learn how to hit. Because we are recording at the day of Game One of the Philadelphia Phillies Atlanta Braves series, and they couldn't hit at all today. So I'm trying to block my brain out of that. We're not talking about that yet. We will talk about it later. But it's good to have number 13 back in Atlanta Braves uniform.
Yeah, I think the hope is that Acuna fixes a lot of the hitting issues for Atlanta. He's at least at a minimum, he's a spark plug that you can plug in, and you feel like there's at least the opportunity that he could go 3 for 5 or 2 for 4 with a walk, and one of those is going to be a homer or something electric is going to happen while he's at the plate. And I just feel like, having watched a handful of Braves games this year, I'm not watching every game like you are, but I just feel like that's been missing in the Braves lineup. They have the people to potentially do that. It just feels off, and hopefully Acuna kind of snaps people back into it a little bit.
That's the hope, but let me be the pessimistic Braves fan and say we saw that in 2023 amazingly, but in 2024, the 50 games before he got hurt, it was kind of what you're seeing now with the lineup. He wasn't making this team better either, and so it's a weird situation. It's a weird predicament that the Atlanta Braves offense is in. Whether it's Tim Hires or Kevin Seitzer or whoever is going to be our hitting coach, it is a weird spot to be in because you look at the 1 through 9 that we run out there almost every day. These are guys that should be performing a lot better than they are. And with Ronald coming back from this knee injury, actually pretty much a year to the day that he returned, because it was like 3 years or 3 days before the official injury date when he came back. Uh, it's uh, it's difficult to want to place all the load on him because you have Matt Olson, you have Austin Riley, you have Marcell Ozuna, you have people with baseball cards, and not just and excluding 2023 from the picture. These guys have baseball cards, like they've done it, and why haven't they been able to do it the last year and a half or the last year and 2 months? That's the frustration, the rant coming out of me. So maybe there's a Braves rant in me later. There's definitely a rant, but maybe we got time for it later.
Yeah, I don't it's an interesting predicament because I'll bring it to the Rangers. You feel like all the pieces are there for Atlanta, in the same way that you feel like all the pieces are there for Texas. I mean, in a bubble, you look at the lineup for Atlanta and you say, "Wow, that lineup should kind of bang." Just
Yeah, it's a
looking
good
at
lineup in MLB The Show.
yeah, looking at the names, you're like, "Wow, I don't know who's getting out." At least 1 through 7 with Acuna in the lineup, you're like, this should be an incredibly hard lineup to pitch to, incredibly deep, and it just has not proved to be that way at this point in the season. Now, you said it in the intro. It's Memorial Day just passed as we record this. You kind of know who the teams are at this point. This is a good barometer. We're about a third of the way, give or take, through the season at this point. Do you think it's going to turn around? I know that's a tough question to ask, but deep
Yeah.
down, are you feeling it?
I mean, I don't feel the vibes right now. But as a delusional Atlanta Braves fan that expects success and expects that they're just going to come off and rattle off wins like they've done in the months of June, July, August, like I've seen it so many times in the last 5 years that through the month of April, through the month of May, typically May's the month that we get out of the slow start. Which I mean, it's kind of happened. We've had, at least as of last week's episode, one of the better records in all of baseball, or the second best record in baseball since starting 0-7. I think that's kind of fallen off now because the graphic I saw today, we're like 10-14 in one-run games, which is now tied for the most losses in baseball in one-run games. So all the games you're playing are close, but typically now's the time when the team really starts turning it on and playing like the best team in baseball to kind of make up for how sorry and pathetic they start off the season. And if I go back to 2021 when we won the World Series, we were under 500, 105 games into the season or so, and then after that we rattled off a lot of wins, had the best record in baseball. You're a Mets fan, Josh. So that fat Mets fan guy was like, the Braves never lose or whatever. That guy was saying that the division was completely over. The other Mets reporter said the division's over. It's the Atlanta Braves or it's the New York Mets' division, and the Braves they're gone. They're dead. So the delusional Braves fan in me says they can still turn it around, but I think that's just more to do with the pieces that we have and not caring what happens on a night-to-night basis. Because right now these guys cannot hit with runners in scoring position. We're not getting enough hits in one-run games to take leads or extend leads. And then you're just kind of getting unlucky from the bullpen perspective too. The bullpen overall is good, but you'd have a couple outings here and there that Aaron Bummer comes in, or Rafael Montero, or even like tonight, Deisbel Hernandez. Either just can't throw strikes, or you give up too many kind of blooping hits that lead to an extra run or two and make the game insurmountable for an offense that you'd think could score 2 runs on a bad bullpen. But yeah, it's weird. I still say they have the pieces to turn it around. I'm still going to hold out hope that they do. But yeah, it's after seeing it 2 years in a row now, it's starting to be like, all right, where's the pistol, and can we go and end it now?
Let's swing it back here. What do you think Acuna coming back? What does his numbers have to look like the rest of the year to get the Braves in, let's just say, a wild card spot, to get them in the dance? Let's not say take over the Phillies, because it seems like the Phillies are just a runaway train at this point.
Yeah,
But get them in the wild card, get them in the dance. It's hard to pin it on one player, but what do those numbers
yeah.
have to look like?
It's hard to pin it on one player, but I've got to say, if Ronald's going to single handedly carry this team, he's got to at least be over 300 in a batting average. He's got to probably get back to about 20-25 homers, push the 100 RBI total, because there's still a chance if he gets really hot, he could be close to 100 RBIs. I'd like to see 20-25 stolen bases out of him, because he's a guy who's stolen 73 before, so 20-25 coming off an ACL injury with 2 quarters of the season left, or excuse me, 2 thirds of a season left
Yep.
is feels doable and not pushing it. But yeah, I mean, if Ronald's going to be the one that has to carry this offense, this team, yeah, he's going to have to be even better than what he was in a shorter time frame than what he was in that 2023 MVP season, in my opinion.
Yeah, it'll be an interesting one to watch. We'll of course be watching that the rest of the season.